Welcome to this time when we are going to talk about the stem. We have talked about the roots. Now it is time to talk about the stem. We know that the stem is that middle part. It is part of the shoot system, and it is also part of the vegetative system of the plant. But we want to go deep into the functions, and then also talk about the development of the stem. We shall also look at the modification of the stems, some of the modification, and then lastly we shall look at the internal structures of the stem. Now, the stem has functions, several functions, and one of the function of the stem is to bear the leaves. It's the one that bears the leaves. And after bearing the leaves, its responsibility, another responsibility is to hold the leaves in such a way that they obtain maximum amount of light in the atmosphere. So the leaves are arranged on the stem in such a way that they receive maximum amount of sunlight. And then another one, it is also responsible for the conduction or the conducting or transporting of water from the ground to the upper part of the stem, and then also transporting of manufactured food from the leaves to the stem. It can be used as a propagative structure, especially when we talk about the sugarcane. The stems can be cut and used as propagative materials. Then it can also be used in the manufacture of food by carrying out photosynthesis. That is when it has a green back. If a stem has a green pigment and it has chloroplasts on the green back, then it can carry out photosynthesis. Then another function of the leaf is to position the flowers in such a way that they can attract the pollinators. That is also another function of the stem. Then another one, it is also used as a storage in some plants. It can be used as a storage organ. For example, if you look in the if we are talking about sugar canes, it can act as a storage structure. So those are the major functions of the stem. We have seen that its function is first of all to bear the leaves, and after bearing the leaves, it is the responsibility of the stem to arrange the leaves in such a way that they receive maximum light for carrying out photosynthesis. And we have seen that it can also be used for carrying out photosynthesis, that is if it has chlorophyll and it is green. And it can also be used as a storage site, especially when we are talking about sugarcane. And we have said that it also takes part in the exposure of the flowers to the pollinators, where it arranges them in such a way that they attract the pollinator and they can be visible to the pollinators. And then we have also seen that the stem conducts or transports water from the ground to the upper part of the plant, and then it also transports manufactured food from the upper part to the lower part of the plant. And we have also seen that it can carry out photosynthesis and it can store food. Now at the moment, we want to look at the development of the stem. You'll find that the stem grows from the point at the tip, which we refer to as the terminal bud. The stem develops from the terminal bud, and in most cases also the axillary buds will give rise to the branch stems. So the stem, the major stem, will grow mainly from the tip, the terminal bud, But the branch stems, those ones develop from axillary bud. Now, when the terminal bud is destroyed or damaged, one of the axillary buds will repress the shoot and will develop into the shoot and becomes the terminal when the terminal bud has been destroyed. Now we have the nodes. The nodes, that's where we find the leaves. Leaves always grow at the nodes on the stem, and the internode, that is the distance between the two nodes. Now when we look at the modification of the stems, there are many stems that have been modified. We have the underground stems that are modified for food storage, and the examples we can give: the rhizome, the stem tuber, we have the culm and the bulbs. Those are modified stems to perform the storage of food. And then we have the twining stems. Twining stems are climbing stems and supportive stems. They are adapted, or they have developed, have been modified to help in the support and the climbing of other plants. Then we have the creeping stems. The creeping stems, these are the stems where we have the runners, we have the oxalis latifolia, we have the stolon. Those are creeping stems. And then we have the climbing stems. The climbing stems, those ones are found in bougainville, and they help the plant to climb up. We are saying that the stem can be modified, and it can be modified to perform extra activities. For example, we are seeing the underground stems, which have been modified to carry out the storage purpose in rhizome, in stem tuber and culms. And then we have also seen the twining stems, those ones which are used for support and for also climbing of other plants. And then we have seen the creeping stems, which assist in the movement or is transferring of the plant from one region to another region, and that one is seen in runners and oxalic acid and oxalis, and then stolon. And then we have looked at the climbing roots, which help in the climbing of certain plants that cannot support themselves by growing upwards or erect. Now we want to look at the internal structure of the roots, the stem. You'll find that the internal structure is now quite different. When you look in monocots, the structure is the vascular system are scattered anywhere. The vascular system are scattered in the monocots. But when you look in the dicots, the vascular system are arranged in a circle, and inside the circle we have the xylem, and outside the circle we have the phloem, and they are being separated by the cambium. That is the internal structure of the stem. And they have, of course, the endoderm and the cortex and the epiderm. But we find out that the epiderm is the protection. It protects the stems from mechanical injury. That is what we have for us about the stem. Next time when we come back, we shall be looking at the leaf. We shall talk about the leaf structure, we shall talk about leaf shapes, we shall talk about the stomatas, and then also the structure of the leaf.